No, it's just kind of unique, but it's not an original idea by any means. Last year, I saw on Twitter some other teams, I would say west of us, Williamsport, and maybe a couple teams out in the Pittsburgh area had posted some stuff where they did a kind of a Midnight Madness to start their season off. So certainly not an original idea. And then also too, if anybody follows like basketball and wrestling at the college level, they kind of kick off their season with a Midnight Madness too. You know what I mean? So it was just something to try to spark a little bit of interest or a little extra interest, something different for the kids. We've been doing some things all off season that have been a little bit out of the ordinary for us. So we're just trying to change things. Kind of our message has been to the kids. We weren't real pleased with the way things worked out last season. So the only way you change that is to do things differently. And so we've tried to orchestrate some of those things in the off season. And then, what better way than certainly start off your actual practices a little bit differently than they've done it for the last, however many years. So just trying to be creative as coaches and keep the energy going and a lot of enthusiasm. So from the time we've started here as a staff, the one thing that's never been questioned is the support from the community. Even some down, like I said, last year, 4-7, not the way you want to be, but our stands were packed almost every single home game. And so that's something we always rely on. We never question whether or not we're going to have great support, great fans. And like you said, it comes from the community, it comes from the teachers in the school buildings, it comes from the administration and everywhere, in between. I'm sure there's a bunch of groups that I'm missing, but there's been never, ever a lack of support from this community. That's why I love being here. That's why these kids, I think, have to understand, I think sometimes as kids, they don't realize, they get caught up in, I'm just playing football to play football, but it's bigger than that. It's bigger than them, and the community really rallies around these guys on a Friday night in the fall. It's hard to tell now how much it's going to help. 2020 is always a nice way to look at things, but it can't hurt. That's kind of the way we look at it. Like I said, as far as energy and doing things differently, it certainly is not going to hurt. I think if we try to, anything we can do to try to create enthusiasm and energy and excitement around the program, it certainly can't be a bad thing. So, I guess I could probably better answer your question, a couple weeks, but, like I said, our numbers are up, the support is always there, and I think the energy tonight is kind of, you've seen it, I think the kids are flying around, it's a great energy. I think the Midnight Madness kind of thing has something to do with it, but we have a little pep in our step today, and I love it. So, as a coach, you never know how it's going to turn out when you do something different. So far, so good.